Hello YouTube, it's your girl Shy Love, and today I'm here with an eyebrow tutorial. I'm going to show you guys how I personally groom and shape and fill in my eyebrows. Before we get started, you already know the drill. If you like these kind of videos, please click the like button and please subscribe if you enjoy reviews and tutorials. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you guys what you're going to need, okay? You're going to need a mirror because of course you're going to, want to see what you're doing. If you don't see what you're doing, can't do it. So I just have any kind of mirror here. If you see me looking down, that's why we're looking in. We're looking into just an eyeshadow palette. Shout out to the chocolate gold palette from Too Faced. You're gonna need as far as grooming, you're gonna need a spoolie, which looks like this. If you don't have one of these, you have an old mascara, you can trim it off and you can use one of those. This came in a kit along with some eyebrow or small scissors. Then you're going to need whatever you're going to actually remove the hair with. For me personally, I don't like to tweeze. 2 weeks ago I did tweeze my brows. It's the quarantine, I was bored and I remembered I don't like it. I don't know why, I don't feel like going through all that pain. If you like it, shout out to you. If you don't, shout out to this. So you can use one of these what are these called, like face shaver, eyebrow shaver things. It's a little razor and it just nicely grooms your eyebrows. The downside to this is that your hair will come back quicker than if you actually remove the hair from the hair follicle. But the good thing is if you mess up, it'll come back in like a week or two and you can move on with your life. Okay, all right. So also you're gonna need things to fill in your brows with. Totally up to you if you like to use dip brows or a brow pomade, you can use that. Or like me, I like pencils. They're super quick and easy to the point, and I find that I can make them look a little bit more natural and like hair. So for me, I have the NYX eyebrow pencil. The color is in black, and Makeup Revolution has one as well. I'm gonna swatch those so you can see the difference. I do not know which one I'm gonna use today, but we'll figure out. So this one here is the NYX, the black, and this is the Makeup Revolution. I believe it's deep brown. So those are that, and I'll show you why I have two, and no, I do not always use two. Let's just get that out of the way. Then you're gonna need a concealer of your choice. So for my girls who love higher end products, then you can use the Tarte Shape Tape in a couple of shades lighter than your complexion if you want a pop. If you don't, go like one shade lighter. Or something that's very similar for the girls who are a little bit more budget conscious, and I'm just naturally cheap, so that's just what it is. The e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer. This works just as well. Both shades are like light sand, I believe. Yeah, both of them are light sand, so that's cool. I also like to use a straight across brush. You can use an old school concealer brush, which is like a domed version of what I'm about to show you, or you can use what I like is the MAC 212 brush. I used to work for MAC for a number of years, and I still have this brush from 2010, so it looks a little, junky. Don't be judging my brush. That's how you know it lasts. So this is what the brush looks like. Let me get a little closer so you can see. I don't know if it's gonna focus. There we go. See, it's just a straight across brush. I like this better because you can actually, you have a little bit more control to me than the actual domed one, because I want a straight line. I don't want like a domed line. Whatever you choose to use is totally fine as long as it gets the job done and you feel comfortable. Then my last thing to use is a brow gel. My favorite brow gel ever is the Lancome Sourcil Styler. I don't know if I'm saying that right because it's in French. I think I am. But it's the brow styler in English. It looks like this, and it does not stay white. This is like edge control for your brows. That's how I used to sell it. I used to work for Lancome a while ago, and I used to sell it like that because it literally is edge control for your brows. If those of you who don't know what edge control is, you're gonna find out in one of my other videos. So basically it's like a really thicker pomade that goes along your edges so you can lay them down, and we'll get into that in a hair tutorial. If you don't want to spend the, I believe, $30 that this is, they have some alternatives for it. I believe a lesser price is the Benefit brow gel. I think that's in the 20 range, and then e.l.f. has one, as well as ColourPop has one for $6. I do like that one as well. So let's get into the whole thing. I don't want to talk you guys' ear off. Let's get into the whole thing. So first thing I'm going to do, and again, I'm going to see me looking into this mirror, so whatever. But first, can we talk about get something out of your, get the hair out of your face, right? I have this cute little, I don't know if it's a bunny or a cat ear like headband, so when you wash your face, your hair doesn't get in your face. You can use that. If you like this, then I'll link it below. I believe I got it from Amazon or Ulta. I'll figure it out by the time this video comes out. Back to what I was doing. So I'm gonna get a little close. Hey y'all. So what you're going to want to do first is brush up your brows, and the reason you're doing this is because you want to see the natural arch or shape of your brows. And then you can remove the hair, whether you like to tweeze or use the razor. I'm going to use the razor, so I'm just going to get really close to where I need to go. Let me get a little, hello. Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and you go, okay. I'm just going to take away all those hairs that are there. Again, if you want to pluck, you can pluck. I don't like to. Now, I've been doing this for a while, so I'm a little, I wouldn't say advanced, but I kind of know how to use these. If you have not used it before, I would definitely play around with it first and be, of course, be careful. But definitely, you want to make sure that you know what you're doing. Then I come to the top here. And very lightly, you do not want to get into the brow, but very lightly go around it. For me, I have hair here that grows a little bit, so I like to get in there too. Then to the side and at the top. Okay, and if you have like a tissue paper or something like that, wipe your eyebrows off. I don't have one right now, so I'm just going to use this. Okay, so already your brow looks a little bit more, what's the word for it? A little bit more groomed, right? So the next step that you want to do is to trim if needed. If you do not need to trim, do not do it. If you are afraid to trim, don't do it. But those of you who are, a little bit more okay with it, let's get the trimming. So I can't zoom in on this, but okay, here we go. That way I can see and at the same time. All right, so am I focused? We're going to brush your hairs up, and if you see any coming up, like see how I do that and it's a little bit more up, then you can trim that. If not, then you're good. I'm trying to let some of this hair grow here, so that's why it looks like that. I'm not perfect, so yeah. I'm gonna start off by filling it in. This is something that everybody's been really more inquisitive about, so I'm gonna show you guys how I do it. There are plenty of other ways, plenty of other YouTubers that do it a little differently, so there is no wrong or right way, as long as you get the desired outcome. That's what matters. And I get a little red, so ignore that. I'm going to take my NYX in black. Now, I'm not heavy-handed with my own eyebrows. With other people, I am. So if I do their makeup, I do use a lighter color on purpose. But for me, I'm not. So I'm going to go ahead and fill mine in. So we're going to start from here. Your brow wants to, wherever this part starts here, that's where you want to have hair. Right? You can make a little notch here. Now, I was taught personally by Anastasia, the Anastasia Beverly Hills. Back when I used to work for Sephora, they had us go and we went on a little trip, and they were able to have us meet, and I actually got my brows done by Anastasia, so that was super cool. But she did show us exactly how to do it. So you want to line up with the inner corner of your eye, make a little nudge. You want to line up with the pupil here, make a little nudge here, and line out with the inner portion here and make a little nudge here. Okay, so again, if you're just starting out to get a brow shape, I super recommend, if you can, wait until the quarantine is over to get your eyebrows done professionally the first time. That way you can follow suit and follow the actual arch that they have given you, and you don't have to worry about recreating something. If you're not, I can link you to a couple of videos. I show you how to do it from the beginning, but I already have an arch, so we're gonna move on. Okay, so basically I want to connect the outer corner or the inner corner to my arch. Okay, so how I'm going to do that is by just drawing very lightly. You see where my fingers are on this pencil. It's this way because you put a lot less pressure on when you hold it here, rather than when you do it like this. Hold it from the back, ladies. It's a little bit easier. So I'm just going to just drag it on my not really putting any pressure. And I'm going to just connect those. So see how I connected that already? Perfect. Next, I'm going to go ahead and connect my arch to the tail part of my brow. Now, depending on how you like your brow. You can do it a little fuller, you can make your arch a little higher. It's really up to you. So what I'm looking for now is any holes from where I put the line, from where I underline my brow, right? I see a little hole here, so I'm gonna follow the direction of the hair. I'm gonna go ahead and draw hair-like strokes. Now if you want more of a what's the word, more of a super filled in brow, you can just draw, okay? But I want mine a little bit more natural. Okay, now we're gonna overline the brow. Now when we overline it, we're not gonna start right here, we're gonna start a little bit back further, like right about here. Okay, and we're just gonna overline. We're basically gonna do the same thing we did on the bottom where we connect here to here. We're gonna connect here. For those of you who used to color in coloring books and used to outline it first and then color, this is very similar. Okay, so again, looking for any holes, you're gonna draw in the direction of the hair. However your hair's length, if it's laying like this, you're gonna draw like that. Okay, so just gonna do that. My hair grows like to the side here, so I'm gonna do that, make little strong things here. Now I have a little hole here. I'm just gonna very lightly, like even lighter than before, draw that. Okay, now something that a lot of people forget to do is spoolie your brow out. So I don't recommend you use the one that you groom your brow with, and if that's all you have, then use that. Take the spoolie on the back end of your brow pencil if that's what you're using, and you want to spoolie it out. You can do it like this or like this. I like to do it like this here because it just allows me to have a little bit more control. The reason why you're spooling out, it's going to create little brush hair strokes, and it's going to remove some of the product, so it's going to look more natural, because nobody's brows naturally are like opaque. If that's what you're looking for, that's cool, do you, but nobody's brows are like that naturally. So for the natural look, we're just going to do that. All right, so I just kind of go through any areas that I take a step back and I see there's a little bit too much, then I stop. All right, so now that we've done that, and I'll do it again on this side so you can see, but now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and take a concealer of our choice. I'm going to do one on one side, and I'll tell you at the end which one it is. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of concealer on the back of my hands, and take my 212 brush, or a flat across brush, whatever you want to call it, get a little bit of it on there. Okay, then what I'm going to do is take it and very gently underline. Now a key is you don't want it to be super thick or full of product, so I'd rather you use less product than more. But I'm just going to outline it, and basically think of this as your eraser. Whatever you don't want to be in your brow anymore, you can just erase it with this. Okay, so now that you got that line, it doesn't have to be perfect, because you can always go back and fix it like I'm doing now. Now what you want to do is you want to just come with the line. You want to take your product and just drag it down. You don't want to go any further or any higher up into the brow than your product, your original line is. So you're going to drag that down. Now here's the taboo part that some people, you know, don't agree with. For me, since I have been doing makeup and so forth for a long time, I can do this really easily. Some people may need a brush. On the other brow, we'll go ahead and we'll use a brush. So for right now, I'm going to use my finger like I do normally. I'm just take my finger and I'm just going to blend this out. You got to be careful not to get up into the brow, because then you're going to erase some of your product. Now if you want the most natural looking brow, you want to use your same color foundation. If you want a little bit of a pop, which I do, that's what you want to do. Okay, so now I will show you guys how I do the top and what I use and what I don't use. I do not use concealer on the top. I do not use concealer on the top. Now the reason I don't use concealer on the top, because you'll have that whole halo brow, and I know you've seen a lot of people here on YouTube actually do that. They'll have the opaque brows and they have that beautiful fade though, but it's like you can see the rainbow color around it. If that's what you like, by all means do that. For a little bit more of a natural brow, you want your top portion to match the rest of your face. So what I definitely recommend is for you to use your foundation, whatever foundation you're gonna wear, or some concealer that looks exactly like your complexion. So for today, I'm just going to use my Maybelline Matte and Poreless in 128, because your girl is pale. It's wintertime, don't judge me. And I'm going to use my same brush, but I'm going to use even less, okay? Even less product on the top. So I'm not going to blend it in yet because I really want you guys to see exactly how I'm doing it. So for even more natural, you can skip this part and literally just use a Q-tip or something to get more of it. So you see how it looks really, really natural? I'm just going to blend it out. And just, I kind of messed up right here. I'm just going to go ahead and add that back. Now for the finishing touch, we're going to use my brow gel, the Source Stylers. What I like to do is you want to brush your brows from the outer corner to the inner. That's going to make sure that all of them get coated. Okay. Next, I'm going to brush them up and over. What is that? Anyway, I'm going to brush them up and over. And I'm going to take my finger. This is why I said it's like edge control. You see how can y'all see how my brows are actually like stuck down? Like, hello. I just keep them right there. And bam! That's how I do my brow. Let me get a little closer so you guys can see, like, hopefully that'll kind of, yeah, there you go. Now you can see from a distance it looks like my brow, because I use something that's a little bit lighter than my natural hair on my brow, and I also go in very lightly. This looks like brow hair. That's what you want if you're looking for a natural brow. So now I'm going to do the other side. I'll speed it up in a second so you guys can see it. And yeah, so I just groomed this brow off camera to make it a little quicker for you guys. Again, right where your eye starts, there, the arch and the end. Okay, we're going to connect this to there, connect from your arch to your tail to the end. Okay, same thing. What did I tell you before? We're going to go in wherever we have any holes and create more hair-like strokes. So we're going to go ahead and start here and just draw those hairs. You guys can see, right? Okay. And you see I'm just drawing hair-like strokes everywhere that I need a little bit more hair. Okay, next we're going to go over top, and we want it to match. So we want to put a little bit of a dot so we can help us to match. And you'll be able to create your own brow shape. So, you know, have a little bit of fun. Do what you got to do. All right, so again, where there's any holes, I'm going to draw a little bit of brow hair. My brows grow down here, so that's how I'm going to draw them, or draw my strokes. Okay, same thing we did before. We're going to, let me get my mirror back, sorry. We're going to spoolie through them so this looks more natural. Okay, and you'll see this brow looks like it's starting down further a little bit, and it is, and so that's where the concealer comes in. And I did promise I would use a different concealer on this side, and I will tell you guys in the end and let you guys tell me if you think you notice a difference. So I'm gonna just go in here and I'm gonna just even that out, take that little corner away because we don't need it. A little bit more concealer. No, sculpting my brow. This, I call this sculpting. I don't know what you guys call it. Outlining it, then dragging it down. Concealering your brows. At this point, it doesn't matter as long as your brows look good. Now, you saw me just go in and remove a little bit more of the color so I can create a more balanced brow. Your eyebrows are never, and I mean never, unless you're some like miracle worker, are never going to be 100% even and equal. They are sisters, not twins. They are cousins, not, I don't know. Yeah, not twins, whatever. Hold on. I did say that I was going to blend this out with a brush so you guys can see. This may be easier for some of you, especially if you're just getting started and don't really have the, you know, the hand to, I guess, make a coordination. But you see, I was a little bit harder to get up in there, so that's why I like to use my finger so I can warm up the product again and use it. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing on the top with my concealer, or I'm sorry, with my foundation color. You guys see? Okay, so I'm just gonna go on top and even it out. Okay, and again, I'll just use a brush so you guys can see. Again, you won't be able to get super close into it without causing any issues, which is why you see my camera cut off. Okay, so we're gonna just go ahead, and now that we've spooled everything out, we're gonna take our brow gel and we're gonna brush it backwards, and then brush our brows up and over, and then take our fingers very lightly. Don't rub it in, but just very lightly so it can stay down and stay how you want it to go. This to me is the most important part. Is the front. My hair is curly, so my eyebrows don't stand up straight in the front like I've always wanted them to do. Okay, and so I'm going to show you guys really quickly what the difference is between each brow. So they're both different brands. Okay, this brow here is my favorite, and the brand for this one, I use the NYX and the Tarte Shape Tape. I love how easy it was to blend. Now I did notice I still use the same brow pencil, but I did notice that with the e.l.f. it dried really quickly, and it's not really my favorite. So yeah, I would prefer, for those of you who have drier skin or something like that, or want a little bit easier to blend, I would go with the Tarte Shape Tape over the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. Under the eyes, maybe a little different, I'm not sure, but yeah. So you guys, that is how I do my brows. Yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and comment your favorite brow products at the in the comments, and then I'll see you on the next video. Bye.